Let's be completely real. If you've ever spent an entire afternoon slicing one long video into 10-second reels, adding captions, searching for the perfect music, and then seeing almost no views, you know that soul-crushing feeling. But what if I told you there's a way to reclaim those hours while often achieving much better results most of the time? Today I want to walk you through a system that genuinely cuts down that editing time dramatically. The reality is that platforms like YouTube Shorts, TikTok, and Instagram Reels now demand a constant stream of high-quality short clips to stay relevant. Most creators end up either completely burning out from manual editing or blowing their entire budget hiring dedicated editors. I used to be the person glued to my editing suite for 2 straight hours just to get one piece of content ready, and frankly, that lifestyle was simply not sustainable. After testing numerous tools on the market, including well-known names like Opus Clips, I found that many of them always seemed to be missing that one crucial piece of the puzzle. However, the platform I'm focused on today, Vizard, managed to solve nearly all of those incredibly annoying gaps I was experiencing. Let me show you exactly what happened when I put it to the test with one of my own hour-long recordings. I plugged that single lengthy video into the system, and in less than 10 minutes, I ended up with 15 completely ready-to-post short clips. That's 15 unique pieces of content generated from just one source upload, which is an incredible rate of return. Crucially, these weren't just random cuts. The AI intelligently isolates the exact segments most likely to gain traction with an audience. It deeply analyzes factors like the initial hook strength, the overall content value, the pacing, and even current trend signals. So instead of relying on my own constant guesswork to find those hidden money moments, the artificial intelligence effectively surfaces the prime candidates for me. The basic workflow is lightning fast. You simply drop a link or upload your file from anywhere, YouTube, Zoom, Drive, you name it, and the system immediately ingests it. You can feed it quite large files. The tool queues everything up, and then the genuine content creation magic begins behind the scenes. It automatically detects the key highlights, crafts those short vertical clips, and even generates suggested titles and descriptions for you. Furthermore, there's a helpful little virality score attached to every single clip, giving you an indication of what the algorithm predicts will perform well. I personally treat that score as a useful pointer, rather than absolute gospel, because after all, AI can sometimes be mistaken. But even with that caveat, the sheer time saved by prioritizing those strong candidates up front is truly substantial. One feature that really sets this apart is that the auto-editing goes far beyond simply chopping out silence or awkward pauses. The system attempts to keep the crucial hook, the main payoff moment, and the overall narrative pacing incredibly tight and engaging. Most of the simpler tools just slice wherever there's a gap and leave you to painfully stitch those fragments into something coherent later on. In contrast, the AI often hands me clips that are genuinely ready to publish right out of the gate, complete with accurate captions already applied. That means I only have to spend a few minutes reviewing, maybe tweaking 1 or 2 lines, and then I hit publish, saving myself hours in the process. Another massive advantage here is the integrated scheduling capability, which truly elevates this beyond a simple editing utility. You can set a consistent posting frequency, and the AI will then queue up clips and deploy them across your platforms. At times it determines are most optimal for reach. No more setting alarms to manually upload content at 3 in the morning just to catch an audience segment. For those who prefer a more hands-on approach, there's a fully featured content calendar view available for fine-grained control. Within that calendar, you can easily swap out scheduled clips, manually adjust the captions, or reschedule an entire day with a single click. Essentially, this feature acts like having a junior social media manager built directly into your content creation software. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Surely there are other tools that can accomplish the same task, and you'd be absolutely right. Competitors like Opus Clips certainly do a fine job at the initial clip extraction and captioning process. But here's where this specific platform pulls ahead in my personal testing experience. Many rivals stop at trimming and titling. They often fail to offer a comprehensive publishing flow or an integrated calendar, forcing you to manually copy files into a separate scheduling application. Additionally, some competing platforms charge significantly more for features that offer only marginal, incremental benefits over what we see here. Paying a premium for slightly faster exports or a different aesthetic simply doesn't justify the extra expense, especially for creators managing tight budgets. Another common issue is that many tools score clips purely based on visual noise or sudden audio peaks, which doesn't always equate to good content. This specific AI mixes hook strength, conversational clarity, and overall content value into its metric, leading to selections that actually make sense outside of their original context. I absolutely do not want to imply that this process is completely perfect, because truthfully, AI is not some form of pure, infallible magic. Sometimes the clip given the highest score might not resonate emotionally with your specific audience, and that's okay. Occasionally, a clip ranked in the middle tier feels much stronger to me once I consider the specific personality of my followers. Therefore, you absolutely still need to apply your own human judgment by listening through the content and picking what aligns with your brand identity. But the amount of time you save on the initial heavy lifting of sifting through an hour of raw footage is undeniably massive. To really picture the practical journey, I started by just copying the YouTube link for that full-length video right into the tool. After that, I simply clicked the Generate Clips button, and the system immediately placed the processing job into its queue. The interface clearly displays an estimated time of arrival, and the progress bar keeps moving forward while you wait. During that processing time, I could easily switch to a completely different project or step away to go make a well-deserved cup of coffee. When the process concluded, I was greeted with a media library packed with short clips, each accompanied by an auto-generated title and a draft description. The predicted performance score was right there next to each one, and the system even offered a preliminary suggestion for which specific platform each clip was best suited for. From that point, my next step was choosing between exporting the high-definition files or publishing them directly through the integrated service. The publishing workflow lets you connect your various accounts like YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram directly to the tool. I typically opt to schedule everything out, setting the frequency and letting the AI populate the calendar with its top selections. Then, I only intervene manually maybe 2 or 3 times a week to tweak a caption or swap an AI pic to keep things feeling totally authentic. This hands-off publishing cycle is the true difference between consistent passive content growth and the never-ending cycle of editing stress. Now, let's quickly touch on the practical side regarding pricing structures, as some tools try to nickel and dime you with complicated credits. Other services impose strict limits on exports or charge extra fees for basic necessities, like generating a simple transcript. The structure here is much more straightforward for the features you are actually receiving, which is a huge relief. Considering the massive amount of time you save on manual labor, the subscription cost often pays for itself almost immediately through reduced editing overhead. And critically, the free trial allows you to test this entire workflow end to end without having to commit any payment information whatsoever. Here's a quick professional tip. Always spend 5 minutes listening through your top 10 automatically generated clips before you decide to publish them all at once. The AI can sometimes select a sensational-looking moment that ultimately lacks the necessary context for an outsider to fully grasp it. My personal sweet spot is letting the AI do the bulk of the demanding work, then manually swapping out just 1 or 2 lower-scored clips for better contextual ones. That powerful combination of speed plus a minimal amount of human refinement is truly where the magic happens for scaling content. If you happen to be managing brand deals or need to adhere to very specific captioning mandates, the built-in editor remains quite user-friendly. You have the ability to precisely retime captions, inject a custom branded outro card, or even export an XML file for a human editor if that's part of your established workflow. The core philosophy is that the tool should integrate into your existing system, not force you to completely overhaul your entire operation overnight. Consider the manual alternative: 2 hours just for 1 short clip, involving cutting, testing, formatting for 3 different aspect ratios, finding non-blocked music, and then uploading everything with correct metadata. With this automated batch approach, you reduce that entire 2-hour commitment down to just 10 or 20 minutes of focused review time for many clips. That drastic time reduction is the genuine return on investment you should be looking for in any creator tool. Ultimately, the accounts that see sustained success are those that maintain high posting frequency without sacrificing overall content quality. Tools like this are what make that level of daily or weekly consistency achievable without immediately heading toward creative burnout. If you are a creator aiming to seriously scale your output without having to hire an entire in-house production team, this is one of the simplest paths available right now. One final piece of advice is that promotions and trial offers can change frequently, so check the link below whenever you decide to test it. It's completely normal to see different offers depending on the exact moment you decide to click through and try it out. I strongly encourage you to test it on a project you genuinely care about to see just how many clips you can pull from a single long session. If it saves you even half the time it saved me, you'll likely find yourself scheduling posts for the entire next month in under an hour. That wraps up my deep dive. This is your host making sure you stop wasting precious editing time and start repurposing your content smarter. If this video gave you a helpful tip, please hit that like button and definitely try the free trial link in the description to see how it handles your own videos. I really appreciate you watching, and I'll catch all of you in the next valuable video.